firstly, thank you for taking time out for an interaction with us. Uh,
Thank you for having me.
and we will straight away we'll jump to your album straight away.
Yes,
11 songs, and I think you have sung in six languages: Hindi,
yes,
English, Swahili is an interesting choice, then
yes, Korean and Latin.
Korean and Latin. So five languages.
Yes,
So,
yes.
how was this? How was this decided, and how did this come about creating a multilingual album?
So see, album was I was always working on my album, and honestly, it took 8 to 10 months to complete this album because we decided we want so many languages. See, idea behind it was to create something that's not been done before. I have done an album in English and Hindi before. I sang English songs. But what happens is the good thing about India is it is well versed with English. So, people know you're singing in English. But I also wanted to give them something new, something interesting. So,
Yeah.
Latin came by, Korean came by, and Hindi English is, of course, there. And Swahili. Swahili is because our album's theme is Afro house music and
Hmm.
some of the songs are Afro techno as well. So
Hmm.
Swahili is the best language to go with Afro because Swahili is more earthy, more connected with nature. That's more So that was the idea behind it, and also I wanted to bring in so many languages to make it more global. So it reaches more audiences. It can go to Korea because we have used the Korean hook in the song. Then, of course, there are three songs that are in Latin. One is Latin English, one is Latin Hindi. So,
Hmm.
that was the whole idea that it has to be more interesting and global.
That's interesting. And for me, also interesting is to know how much time did it take for you to get used to these languages? Because it's not just about speaking a word, it's about finding the nuances about those words and the feelings attached and the emotions that need to be conveyed through those words. So, how much time did it take for you to get through this process overall?
So, like I mentioned before, it took us 8 to 10 months because I wanted to get well versed with the languages. And what happens is these languages, especially Latin, because Latin is not something that that is spoken in a day-to-day basis. So Latin was the most difficult of them all, and I can just tell you, I'm still not well versed with this. Yes, I can sing in it because I have the lyrics written and I remember it and I just sing it on mic and speak a little bit. But if you ask me to speak Latin completely, that is still I'm still getting a hang of it. I'm still learning the languages, and yeah, that's the beauty of it. The more you learn, the more you realize that it's not enough.
So, look, if I understand it correctly, you were one of the contestants in 2005 Saregama Pa, and
Yes, I
you
was.
you started your journey in, not journey as such, but trying to figure out a commercial or a career oriented work in music in starting from 2005 primarily. So from
Yes.
2005 to we are in 2026, it's been 21 years. How would you sum up your journey in the music stream altogether?
Yeah, I would say it's been a beautiful journey. I have no complaints, no regrets. Yes, I've made mistakes. I've learned from them. I have met some wonderful people in this journey. I have learned a lot from them. But I would just say this is what I always wanted to be.
Yeah.
I never had anything else, no other dream. I wanted to go to Mumbai. The first thing was I want to go to Mumbai and I want to participate in Saregamapa. I want to grow bigger. And that was the whole dream. So just standing on the stage of Saregamapa was my dream. I was in 10th standard when I went for Saregamapa. And there's been no looking back ever since. I mean, movies, I think they chose me. Movie has been my destiny because I learned Indian classical for 12 years. I did Visharat from Bhatkhande, then I did Thumri. I've learned Indian classical for all these years. And acting, when I just came to Mumbai, I won Saregamapa campus special. And then it just happened that, people started offering me acting roles. And from there, my journey started. So I would just say that it has been unpredictable, but it has been beautiful. And I would just say that this is how destiny works.
Having gone through 12 years of training, having learned Hindustani classical, etc., etc., you still are in the phase where you would want to do more in music and make that training, you know, get justified with your work, or you feel happy or content in the current work that you have done so far?
No, so see, I think the training that I have acquired from Visharat and all, वो उसको नींव को मजबूत करना, जैसे कहते हैं ना, व्हेन योर जब आप बिल्डिंग की नींव डालते हो, जितनी स्ट्रांग नींव होती है बिल्डिंग, आप उतनी ऊंची बना सकते हो. सो
Yeah.
क्लासिकल जो हमारा शास्त्रीय संगीत है, द ट्रेनिंग दैट आई हैव हैड हैज मेड मी अ स्ट्रॉन्गर आर्टिस्ट, had made
Hmm.
me a more sound artist with my, because I can understand music better. I can understand कि अच्छा ये सा जो है काली चार की है या काली पांच की है, or is it G major, or is it C? So I understand those things better. Like you can wake me up at 4 o'clock in the morning and ask me to sing, and I will be in tune. That's what my training has done over the years. And of course, we need to understand one more thing is we have to develop our art with time. It's like a sword or a knife. You have to keep sharpening it for it to work. You know,
Yeah.
that is what
Yeah.
happens with the talent
Yeah.
that is skilled. Like you have to keep sharpening your skill, and you have to keep adjusting and growing with the growing times. Now, unfortunately, people don't want to sit down and listen to completely, classical Shastriya Sangeet. That's just not your audience.
Yeah.
That makes you a very limited, that gets you a limited audience. If you want to be more global, first of all, if I want to be more global, the Western audiences will not understand Indian classical. They just don't know the language. They just don't know where it is coming from. Yes, Saregama Padhanisa and Do Re Mi Fa Sol La Ti Do are same thing, but it is still different. Western classical, Indian classical are two different, music styles. Even in when you go to Carnatic and all these, this that music is also differently taught. So I think that's where you sharpen your art. You change yourself with time. I learned with time what is working, what is not working. Like with this album we have done Afro House. Afro House is something that has all the qualities that you can use soul music, because Indian music is more soul,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Western music comes more pop. So we have Afro House, you can do everything, so that just opens more doors for you. I think that is where, as an artist, I think is challenging. If you don't uh, 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 change yourself with changing times, you're going to be left behind. And I'm someone who just, I love my music and I love my art too much to be left behind. So I just want to keep going, keep doing it until the day I can't.
You know, you got to be doing things with the changing times, and you got to adapt and evolve. When you think about adapting and evolving for yourself, especially in terms of your music, what things have you intentionally put in focus for you to learn or for you to understand when it comes to your own music evolution as an artist?
I think to understand that, first thing I did was understand myself, my positives and my negatives. What is my strength? Where my strength lies? And I think I'm a very strong vocalist when it comes to singing. I have strong vocals in both, and the beauty of it is, see, we tried to create Afro Desi house with my album, and I can do it because. Without sounding rude or narcissist, a Western singer who has been singing English cannot come and sing a Mecca Mecca. But I could sing a Mecca Mecca, and I could sing Love Mafia as well. So, I think that is where my strong trait lies, that I can do Indian classical because I've had such a rigorous training for over the years. And I can do Western music as well because, I was in a convent and I used to sing in a choir and I was singing all these Christmas carols. So I have that training as well. I think that is a strong point that I have. And as an artist, it is very important to understand what is your strong trait and where, what is your weakest trait. So you can sharpen your stronger trait and also work on your weakest trait. So somewhere you can meet in middle. I think that's what I have always tried to do, and I hope I'm succeeding with that.
How was the collaboration with Prince on your album?
Well, Prince, first of all, I would say he is one of the best music producers I've worked with, over the years. And he has worked with very big artists. He's worked with Swedish House Mafia. He's worked with Red One. He's worked with Pitbull. So he has the knowledge that even my knowledge compared to him is limited because he has worked with international artists. So. And me and Prince have this thing. We keep challenging ourselves. We have to sometimes I joke about it and I'm like, why are we doing this to ourselves? I mean, our things are good. We have a name, our things are running. We're doing shows, we're making money. Why are we just pushing it so much? And one very good thing that always comes from him is when you are in this level, when you are, running in the top league, you cannot be mediocre, you cannot be average. When you're in the top league, your music, your art has to be like number one. Otherwise, there's no point because we are also taking up someone's spot. There are too many talented people in the world. I mean, India is 1.4, 1.5 billion people. Do you think there must not be talented people in India? No, there are a lot. So I'm taking someone's spot. So I better justify it, not and not do mediocre work. My work, whenever I come with it, maybe it is limited, but I want to give my best and I want to justify the position that I have taken.
When we talk about justification, so you have two sides to yourself. One is as an actress, one is as a singer. Personally, to you, what feels more justifiable in terms of your time spent, or in terms of your energies, or in terms of your personal satisfaction? Where do you feel more justified, as a singer or as an actor?
See, I would say as a singer, I have given more because I have trained in Indian classical, and so I have done my part of hard work. But when it comes to movies, it was my destiny because movies chose me. Like I was working on an album with Vikram sir's company, and he just saw me and he just offered me Haunted 3D, which was the role of a singer, by the way. That's
And
how Haunted
and
3D happened.
and for some reason, a specific genre of movies has chosen you.
Yes, I you could say that, but see, horror as a genre is very, very underrated and
Yeah.
really, really over enjoyed. We all enjoy horror movies now. If you see now, the horror movie, everybody is making horror films. Everybody is trying to bring the genre and change the genre to horror comedy and
Yeah.
other things. So it has always been a challenge for me because when I did Haunted 3D, it was a movie ahead of its time. 1920 Evil Returns. Again, a storyline that is way ahead of its time. I mean, Haunted 3D has time travel in it, and horror story, and a love story. So I think a very, very underrated genre. It's close to my heart because I really
Yeah.
enjoy it. I enjoy watching horror. I enjoy doing it. So I call it my destiny because there are certain things that you don't choose. The universe chooses it for you. Horror is one of those things, and movies are one of those things. And I that's why I have never done any horror films after these two films because they are the cult films of our Indian cinema. When it comes to Haunted 3D and 1920 Evil Returns, I have not seen, not just saying it because it's my film, but I'm saying it because I have knowledge about films, and I have not seen better films made than these two films in horror. I'm not talking about other genre, in horror. So I think that has been my justification that I have not signed any other horror film apart from these two because I've not come across a script as strong and as good as these two. Now, yes, with Lily Rose, I'm coming back in horror films because that script is equally good and it's an English international film. So that is there. That is how I give back to my films and my music and as an artist.
Fair enough. How was the experience of working with Vikram Bhatt? And how did this
Oh,
overall thing come up? Because you said that you were joining the movie crew as a singer, and then you got offered the role.
yes. So I recorded with Vikram sir. I recorded an album which was 7 songs, and we recorded it, and then we were doing the photo shoot for the album cover. And after the photos came out, he saw the pictures and they were writing Haunted 3D that time. Haunted 3D was being written that time and they were just looking for the lead. And he saw it and he just called me to the office. He was like, please come, we need to discuss something. And there he said, I'm making this movie and it's the character of a pianist who sings. So I think you'll be the perfect choice for it. And of course, I mean, to be a Bollywood actor, I mean, that's the biggest tag you can get in India. It's one of the biggest industries in India, and Bollywood actors are loved. So I immediately said yes. And from there, the whole journey started. We went to Ooty, we shot the film. And when the movie came out, it was really received well. People really liked it, people loved it. So I would say that was my destiny.
Destiny is where it has brought you from your roots to where you are right now. But when you go
Yes,
back
yes.
and step into where you come from, so how have your roots been instrumental in building the person that you are and building the career that you have built?
You see, I come from Lucknow. And I like to call my journey from Lucknow to the world. You're from Lucknow, so you will understand. And back in the days, our lifestyle was more disciplined. It's like you
Hmm.
wake up, you go to school, and I did two schools together. So I was doing my normal school from Emma Thompson Girls, and then I was going to Bhatkhande after finishing that school, and then I was going to my coaching and coming back home at like 7 o'clock. So I never had time for any fun, anything. I was a very disciplined kid, and I think that's what's framed me over the years, because my parents are also musicians and there was always the riyaz at home. Harmonium and tanpura was always there, and you have to wake up and you have to do your riyaz. There was no other way around it. You just have to, as you are doing your maths homework, you have to do your riyaz also. So
Yeah.
that's my life. There was nothing extra, very boring. Straight go to school, go to another school, go to coaching, come back home, have your dinner, do your riyaz, go to sleep, and repeat. That's been my life.
So basically, then the discipline is what has been very helpful, which you got through your early days of life, and which has helped you drive what
Yes.
you have been able to drive. Because it's also very visible from your career graph that from Saregama to television to movies, it has been a very successive, gradual, and a very nice kind of a upward curve, which not many people have. So when you see this curve and you are anyway on the higher trajectory, how would you want to sustain this, and what are your plans to sustain this as you go ahead?
I think sustaining when you're very disciplined is the easiest thing. Perseverance and hard work always wins. When you don't give up, and I know what I want in life. I know this is who I am and this is what I want to do. There is nothing else. I'm not someone who's like, okay, let me try this, let me try that. I know that I'm a singer, I'm an actor, and this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. There's no changing it, there's no jumping from here to there, going here to there. No. So I think perseverance always wins at the end. And what happens is, there's always this saying that, oh, this film didn't work, or you're this is a A-lister, this is a B-lister. But my take on that art is art. There is no number or rating to it that has been a part of our industry for
Yeah.
so long, that A-listers are different. And if you are an artist, if you're good, if you have a fan following, and if you're loved, then it doesn't matter what level of success you have. Because my success, for me, coming from Lucknow, being coming to Mumbai, and to be able to reach where I am is very big for me, because nobody has done it in my family. And you're from Lucknow, so you will know we don't have how star kids have the opportunities, or back in the days we didn't have so many things. So to be able to come from that and reach where I am today, that's successful enough for me. And I just want to do good work, make good music, do good interviews, and just be a good artist. I want to be known for my craft rather than my where I'm going, what I'm doing. That's more like me, my art.
So, talking about your craft, what do you think? What are the plans for this year now, 2026?
So see, right now I'm in Cannes. I'm filming for a movie, and of course, Love Mafia. So right now, these two things, and Lily Rose. Of course, I'm filming for Lady Rose as well. So this is for the year. This is enough. And then if some other scripts come over or something happens, that's the other thing. But right now it's more filming, touring, and promoting Love Mafia.
What did you mention about Lily Rose?
Lily Rose is the new horror film that I'm working on.
Ah,
So we
okay.
have, yes, so that's my comeback in horror again after so many years. And it's an
Okay.
international film. It's with Maximum Risk Entertainment. So that is also I'm working on. Then there's another film. I'm not at liberty to talk about it much, but I'm filming for it right now in Cannes, and then we're doing it all over Europe. So those two films are there in pipeline, and of course promoting Love Mafia and doing live gigs. That is the plan right now.
How do you prepare yourself for a live gig? What is your first go-to song when you see the crowd and when you have to pep them
So
up?
I don't have a go-to song. It's always like sometimes there's a college event. It's according to my audiences. You cannot go and sing a wedding song in a college event or a college song in a wedding event. It depends on what kind of audience I'm performing in front of, and then it is a very, because I like to sing live and I have live audience. And then it is all about the interactions and how the set list that we have prepared. So of course before every show there's a set list that we I prepare with my musicians, and there is of course rehearsals and everything. Then we travel, and then how the audiences are, what kind of music they enjoy. We are doing it for the people, for the audiences. I'm on stage, the audience has to enjoy, they have to dance, they have to remember me because of the performance I have just given. So that depends on the audiences I'm interacting with.
Fair enough. And for the audiences, this is what we are recording this, and for the audiences of music culture is what we have had this conversation for. And before winding up, I would like to thank you, Tia, for taking time out and
Thank you for having me.
giving us this opportunity. Wishing you all the best, and let's see where we when we can interact
Thank
further,
you.
because your journey is very interesting.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Lovely to talk to you. Bye
Pleasure
bye.
is mine. Thank you. Bye bye.